Hi, I'm Julia Crowley, Clear Mind. Today I'm going to reiterate what the basis of my business and my practices and my aims is to help you to become more self aware and develop the personal power that you need to create a life that you love, do the work you do, and create an environment where you can thrive, not just survive. That's the whole point of Clear Mind. That's what I set out to do. It took me quite a few years to get to that niche, but that's the end of it. Is it's all about emotional intelligence. The more you know about yourself, the more self-aware you are, the more likely you are to be tolerant and understanding of other people, and therefore enhance your relationships, improve your communication skills, so that you can get your message across, so that other people can understand what they're doing, and so that you can listen and hear them as well. And again, that is exactly what counselling and coaching is all about. It's about you, the individual, the client, and their needs. I'll help you get there, but I don't know what's best for you. I don't know what you really want, and I can't possibly tell you that. But I can guide you and use certain skills and techniques to get you there that work for you. And that's what the one-to-one bit is for me. That's the interesting part of being a counsellor and life coach or personal development coach, is looking at what you need and how I can help you to get that, to achieve that. It starts with self confidence, self belief, self esteem. You've got to like yourself, love yourself even, and know what you want, where you're going, where you're heading, and then, and only then, you can set the goals and make achievements that you want to do. Set the milestones, the rewards as well. Don't forget those, they're key bits of life coaching. And I came into this business because in my 20s I didn't know what I knew much later. And I know that's a cliche, if we only knew then what we know now. But I didn't have those options. I didn't have the outlook rather than the insights to see what my opportunities might be. There wasn't the guidance available to me in my environment at that point. But that's what's driven me and guided me into counselling and coaching. I've always been in support services, from secretary and administration management right up until it is counselling and coaching and NLP mind management, because I've always been interested in people psychology. I'm curious, I'm interested, maybe I'm downright nosy, but it's about what that brings for me, and that's what's driven me, that's what my life purpose is, and what excites me, what thrills me. There's always something new to learn. I learn off my clients as much as they learn from me. And it's about using that life experience, the formal skills and qualifications I've been trained for, and my natural tendencies and preferences, the way I am, my nature nurture. And that's the same with you. It's all about the more you know about yourself, the more personal power you have. Socrates said, know thyself, and that means you can create whatever your environment is, you can adapt to it much better, you can flex with whatever's going on around you, and you can create the best environment for you, no matter the circumstances. There are lots of evidential stories in psychology and coaching about those sorts of situations, those people who've found those ways to do it, and you can too. So, what do I mean by self awareness? It's about knowing what your natural tendencies and preferences are. For example, in NLP, we have certain communication styles: visual, auditory, kinesthetic. We have timekeeping. Some people are in time or through time. Drives the other one insane when it's not you. But it's about understanding that, and therefore you can adapt your behaviours to meet their needs as well. And that's not about giving in. That's not about people pleasing. That's about keeping your stress levels manageable, but still interacting with people that you can't avoid or you don't want to avoid, like family and friends or colleagues at work. But they may not be on your level, your wavelength, I mean, or on the same path as you, on the same outlook as you. But if you have the insights, you're more likely to be tolerant and understanding and flex with it. And that can only be good, not only for you and your situation, but for your company, for your family, and for society as well, society at large and the world. If we want peace in the world, that's the way it's going to start. So it's about creating ripples. You see behind me, one of the pictures is from Milford Sound, and I created a ripple in the picture. But that's one of the key things in my business is about what happens to you influences what other people influences other people, and they influence other people, and the ripple starts and spreads. And that's what it's all about. And it begins with self-awareness. Emotional intelligence is part of that for me. Understanding that the commonalities, the common emotions we have, the reactions we have, like fight or flight, happiness, love, those sorts of things, they're common, but we might express them or receive them in different ways because of our previous experiences, good and bad. We have filters that we develop, and we need to know what they are so we know what it is that we might be distorting when we compare it to someone else's. But there is no necessarily right or wrong, it's what's right for you and what's wrong against your values. But your beliefs will have come from somewhere, and it's about making sure they work for you all stages of your life, not just when you were a child or you carry those through from childhood to your adulthood when you're in a totally different situation, environment, and a totally different purpose than you have then, or than your parents had or your carers. So it's about that self-awareness. It's about using all the experiences you've had and you will have to build and build. And you do that naturally, we all do. As we have an experience, it changes us in some way and it influences us. Our mind literally is rebuilding with every situation, every experience, every moment of our lives. Your brain is constantly rebuilding and creating new pathways, new ideas, new information, new knowledge. So the more you know about yourself, the better. So that's your natural preferences, if you like, your natural talents that you were born with that you can't change. You can ignore and you can try to suppress, but that's not who you are. It's about trying to harness them. Is it positive, artistic, creative, organisational planning, control? That's fine as long as it's positive control and it doesn't harm someone else. So again, you can adapt it, you can understand it, you can learn to manage it. Your stress reactions, natural instincts like that. So the fight or flight response, for example, learn to understand it, learn to know what happens for you, what's the first symptom you recognise, so then you can start taking the steps to manage it and to change it. What are the stresses that cause you stress over and over and over again? There's patterns there. The more you know about them, the more you can manage them, change them, get rid of them, avoid them. So there's a lot goes on, but personal power is about creating your best environment, becoming the person you're meant to be, that you could be, exploring and achieving your potential. Doesn't matter about someone else. You work with other people, you have relationships, you influence them and they influence you. And you work alongside them, you live alongside them. But you don't have to be them, you don't have to be what they think you should be. It's all about being yourself, your unique self. So you can live life on purpose, your purpose. Change your mind, change your life. The more you know, the more personal power you've got, the more options you've got, the more you'll be ready for the opportunities when they do drop in your lap. Because trust me, you only get a moment to jump at an opportunity more often than not. They rarely come a second time. Something similar maybe, but never that one. Sometimes you miss an opportunity. Maybe that's meant to be. But I'm not a fatalist really in that sort of way. Again, you might be, and you might want to hand that responsibility over to someone else. But the more you know that, the more you recognise it, and therefore you're making informed choices and decisions that benefit you for your advantage. So the benefits of self-awareness are huge. They are important. They are in fact essential for happiness, for success, for the journey that you live and you're living your life, whatever that might be with whoever. So the more you develop your self-awareness, which is why I'm a personal development coach. The career coaching comes in because that's perhaps more familiar, where coaching is business based and business focused. But for me, it's more about becoming the right person, the true person you're meant to be, and therefore you'll find happiness and success in that way. So if you've got any questions, any options, you can look on the website, look on social media, look at other people's profiles as well and other people's information. They've got different outlooks, different insights, but it's all about finding what's right for you and working with that. So good luck with your explorations, enjoy the journey and get to where you want to be with clear goals, step-by-step action plan and understanding yourself inside, outside, upside down and roundabout. Take care, have fun, enjoy life.